don't get it all twisted, man. And don't worry your little brain about somebody ripping somebody off. I don't roll like that. A rip-off on that cut over there would have been $2,000. That would have been a rip-off. Anything less than $1,000 or less is a good deal for anybody to bring a Bobcat anywhere. Just so you know. So next time you come in the comments on this video, on my videos or somebody else's videos, you don't look so stupid. Stop looking stupid. I mean, you're doing it to yourself. I ain't doing it to me. So I know what I'm doing out here. You know? Do you? You ain't out here. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. You ain't doing this kind of work. You probably punching that clock. Nothing wrong with that, man. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with you punching the clock. The YouTube channel is all about my experiences out here. $4 for the floor was an experience. 600 on the brush cutting job is experience. I'm gonna get my $4 back. And that's the way the world works, Doc. Just in case you didn't know. That's the way it works. That's exactly how the world works. I wouldn't expect it any other way. And if you don't think the world works like that, well, you will at one point in time. But you might have to get off Granny's couch to do that. Okay, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, 5 minutes to 8, and damn, there comes Zach on time. Love it. Yeah. All right, man. I have to continue. Let me get Zach going, so he'll know exactly what he got to do. Okay, y'all. So let me get up high above these power lines, and so this is, I'm gonna try to get over here behind the houses where I'm not gonna hit nothing. There's a lot of trees on the roadside. So this right here is the roadside HOA. So Zach is headed over here, but you can see. Try to get, yeah. I got Francisco starting way down here at this other end. But it's a pretty rough cut here. Trick to this one is spraying. And you can see the ditch where we spraying, and you know, it's the beginning of the season. It's only the second cut. Ooh, almost hit them, man, damn. But it keeps going, and it's only on the left-hand side of the road here, if you're, you know. Yeah, let me open the door up. Just a vast area here, you know. Y'all see him, man. He's just steady, man. I did so much of it yesterday, you know. Let me get up higher above the power lines. So now I'm gonna take y'all down the other street. You got that piece right there. And then you got this piece. Y'all, no footage today, I got a little bit of drone footage. We got everything on the list done, and this is a prime example of don't count the yards, y'all, just count the money. because on today's schedule, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We did 10 yards, 2 trucks. That's what we did. And over $1,000. I added it up last night. I think it was like $1,030 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So don't count the yards, count the money, man. Count the money. So we had a great day. Everybody got done. It's 1:45, and yeah, I didn't get much footage today because, well, it's starting to get hot, man. And we're out there in it, man. We are really trying to, you know, be proactive and spraying and everything too on every job. We had a great morning. What else I got? Francisco did good, and Zach did good. Zach was actually early this morning. Kudos to him for that. Great, I love it. Yeah, and we're building our bodies up for the heat, man.
2022.
Great day. Let me get Zach gone, and I'll do I'll finish the rest of this video. Okay, Zach just pulled off. It's 10 minutes to 2. Yeah. So like I'm saying, you know, you don't count the yards, because we got these yards here today, and we had $1,110 today. Actually, it's more than that because we did another $50 one that Zach just got done with. So at plus 50 more, add 50 to that. $1,165 today, y'all, on 10 properties. I mean, that's, you know, when you're mowing grass, and you probably got, to me, I probably got more money, more fuel in the mowers than in the truck, both trucks. The trucks, I guarantee you, we're probably at $30 worth of fuel or less in the trucks. You know, we're probably another $40 or less, definitely less, in the mowers. About $40 in the mowers. So you take that 1,165. So fuel and labor, $400, $350. That puts the profit at $765. Now let's take another $200 off for miscellaneous, whatever, tires, insurance, whatever you want to add, whatever, it doesn't matter. Because we want to get a realistic number. I'd rather the number be lower than over, right? I want to get money back, and I want to get that money back. I want to get that $8,400 back in my mower account. I got an account just for equipment, mowers, and blah 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 blah. I do. Maintenance stuff and that kind of thing. And when I took the $8,400 out of there, my thinking was, well, if I got a solid mower, I'll be able to put it back within a month. I ain't just getting this money every day and throwing it in the checking account. I'm getting this money every day, and I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it in half, breaking it 3 ways, and I'm putting this in the business account. I'm putting this in the mower account, and I'm putting this in the running account. The money's getting broke down three separate ways. And right now we're heavy going back into the mower account, because the mower account has got to get back where it was before I can, you know, start putting money in savings and all that. So I had a guy come in the comments, and we were talking about, you know, the shop floor. He came in the comments saying you were calling the shop floor a rip-off and this and that. He was talking about me. I never not one time said that the shop floor, doing the shop floor was a rip-off. Not ever. Matter of fact, the video that I did when they were doing the floor, the thumbnail says finally an honest contractor. So yeah, of course I didn't want to spend $3,000 more on the heels of me spending $8,400 on the shop floor. The $8,400 for the mower, just happened 2 weeks ago, and now I'm coming out of my pocket $3,000 plus another $1,000 to get them to seal it too. $4,000 for the shop floor. Well, of course I'm going to not be happy about it. What you got to understand though is, well, let me back up a little bit. So the guy was referring to me saying I'm ripping off that homeowner over there on that brush cutting job. I'm ripping him off. And there I am crying about getting ripped off from the floor guys. I never, not one time, said that the floor guys were ripping me off. I thought it was expensive, but what do I know about floors? I think I might have even said that. I might have even done all this too. I don't know nothing about floors. I don't know nothing about, what it takes to grind a floor down. I have no idea. I did not think it would be that expensive, but it is what it is. The thing about it that some of these dummies don't understand is I have options. I could have chose not to get the floor done. I mean, just like that homeowner chose. He could have chose not to get me to do the brush cutting over there. I don't know. But, I ain't ripping a customer off. If I tell them a price and they agree to the price, that's not a rip-off. If they agree to the price, then, well, and I know the price is fair. Get somebody else to get a Bobcat out and go do what I'm going to do over there for $100, like you were saying. Don't you know? You must be a broke dude, because I don't hardly do anything for $100. I'm not going to crank the Bobcat up for $100, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You must not own nothing. You must be on, what, mama's couch, granny's couch, in the basement, something. You ain't out here in the real world. $100 don't get you nothing. And for me to commit to doing that little job for $600 with the Bobcat, well, that's what it takes, man. That's what it's going to take for me to do it. Yeah, all he had to say was no. Did you ever consider the homeowner done priced out what it takes to rent a Bobcat? And it's without a brush cutter. What it takes to get the Bobcat to the house, to his house? $175 a pop. To rent a Bobcat like mine, you're talking about probably $400 a day, plus the $175, plus the shady ass insurance and all that. Plus you got to, yeah, all that. He would easily be at $700 or $800 by the time he got the Bobcat back, and he's still got to do the work. Oh, don't forget, he's got to rent the brush cutter too. They ain't cheap to rent either. That's probably $175 a day, $200 a day. So he'd be well over, $900 if he decided to do it himself, and he still has to do the work. So before you come into comments saying something stupid, saying something that's can be analyzed like I just broke it down for you, I know you need things to be broke down for you. You ask anybody that owns equipment, mowers or Bobcats, what they'll do for $100. I'm not even going to load it up for $100, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What world you live in? I don't know. But when I told him the price, he might have went in there to his wife whining and crying, man. It's going to cost us $600 to get to do that back area. He's going to charge us $600. What do you want to do, honey? She probably going to come back at him and say, damn, that's a lot of money, but you know, let's go on and do it, because, you know, we call the rental yard and we know what it costs to rent one. $600 is expensive and we don't want to do it, but $600 is what it takes. That's what it takes to get him to do it. And based on what they know about rentals, they probably know that they can't rent a piece of equipment and do it themselves for $600. So why would they? Just like with the shop floor. I didn't like it, but that's what it cost. But I was so grateful and so thankful that they came as quick as they did, and they did such a good job that I went on and let them do the sealer on the floor too for another $1,000, making that $4,000 for the floor. If I was really thinking they were ripping me off, like you seem to think that I think, and I never said that, I would have never contracted them to do another $1,000, dude. What the hell are you smoking, man? Stop it, dude. Stop it. Stop smoking that shit, y'all. What the hell? I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way when folks come in the comments acting like they know me. You don't know me, man. You know what you know what I want you to see. That's what you know. Stupid shit, man. But he had options. Just like on the floor, I had options. I could have said no. I knew what the price was going to be before they ever even got here. Don't come at me with that old sidewindery kitty crap. I just happened to do a YouTube channel, and I was just expressing to you guys how expensive I thought that was. I still think it's expensive. I think me cutting that over there, if I was the homeowner, I think me cutting over there, I still think that's expensive. If I was the homeowner, I would think $600 is expensive. But that don't mean I'm ripping them off. That don't mean he's ripping me off. I think it's expensive. I thought $4,000 for the floor was expensive. But after they got here and I started seeing what all it took to do that, and me being a business owner, and the resources they threw at this floor right here, I realized, though it's still expensive, the number doesn't change. My thinking on $3-4 grand to redo the floor in the shop, my thinking on that doesn't change. None of it changes. I still think that it's expensive. But I can think whatever I want to think. It doesn't matter. Once I saw what they had to do to get that floor like it is now, I realized right then, oh, it's definitely worth it. Because I had no idea what it takes to grind a floor down. I had no idea. Just like you have no idea what it costs to run a Bobcat with a brush cutter. It is what it is. People charge what they charge. And, you know, I had no idea what it was going to take to do the floor in the shop. Just like you have no idea what it's going to take for me to do that brush cutting job over there. Apparently you don't have no idea. At least I'm, you know, honest enough to say, hey, I have no idea what a shop floor should cost. I just knew what I was willing to spend. And I spent it. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here and pick up a sandwich, y'all. So I got some different kind of news today. It ain't normal, but it does happen. One of my customers, well, about 5 weeks ago, well, about 6 weeks ago, we cut the grass. 6 or 7 weeks ago, we cut the grass. And so about, you know, for the first cut of the season. And so, and this customer's been my customer for, I know, at least 10 years. And her yard is a little bit, well, I don't have any other properties up by her yard. It paid pretty good for the time that we spent there, you know. It did. So about a month ago, you know, she was due for the cut, another cut. And so I texted her and said, hey, you're on the schedule for tomorrow. You know, it'd been like 15 days or so. She was like, oh, I'm out of town. I can Venmo you the money though. And I'm like, okay, no worries. So it was all good. So then later, an hour later, she calls me back. She says, you know, I'm just gonna wait till I get back in town to do the yard. I said, well, it's already been more than 2 weeks. She says, yeah, but you know, I'm just gonna wait till I get back. My daughter said it's not that bad. And I'm like, well, our deal is every 2 weeks. I'm not gonna wanna wait another 3 or 4 weeks to cut the grass, right? She said, well, you know, my daughter says it doesn't need it, so I'm like, okay, cool, you know. So basically, in my own software, phone, everything, I pretty much deleted her from the software from that point on, you know. So today, she texts me, she says, so when can you get over here and do the yard? It's really bad. And I'm like, I bet it is. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to service that property anymore. I said, I've done, my plate is full. I told her that I can't do the mowing, the lawns on call. I ain't on call, man. So that's 2 customers this year that I done dropped. That's so unlike me, you know. But I'm picking up customers too. But she really thought that we were going to cut the grass and come back 6 weeks later and cut the grass again. She'll find somebody else, and she'll see what I'm talking about. And I've had some problems with her, not ever problems with her paying or nothing, but I've had some problems with her over the years with the timing, you know, and we've had pointed conversations about the timing quite a few times. So my thinking is, well, I'm not going to, you know, when me and her had a little pointed conversation, you know, a month ago when she was out of town, I knew then that I wasn't going to do the property no more. And so I had already took it off my bucket list. Way too busy to be doing all that. And then she really thought that I was going to come do it, like, she said, oh, it really needs it bad. I'm going to get a letter from the HOA if I don't get it done this week. You better call another lawn care guy, because it ain't going to be me. And that's how it's got to be. And it ain't because I'm Billy Badass. It ain't because I'm, you know, cocky or arrogant or whatever guys, haters want to call me. It ain't none of that. It's because I ain't got time to be playing games with customers that want to be like that. You know, if they can't respect the fact that I got to make a living, then I can't respect the fact that they need their lawn cut by me. And I'm not nobody special, unique, or needy. She can hire somebody else. See what I'm saying? She got options. So she needs to act on those options. And she will, you know. It was not a bad thing. It wasn't a bad conversation. We didn't have words or nothing. I just told her, I said, I'm sorry, I just can't do the property anymore, Daisy. And she said, well, why not? And I said, well, you know, it's been over 6 weeks since we were there. And my deal with all the customers is every 2 weeks. So, but it didn't need it. Yeah, but maybe it didn't need it quite as bad as it does now. you pay your cable bill, whether you use it or not. The customer's not always going to win. The customer can win sometimes, but if you want to be an entrepreneur out here, you got to let the customer win, but you can't let them win every time. You got to be able to win some of these little battles too. Me losing a customer, you know, dropping a customer, whatever, however you want to call it, there's no win there. Not for me. And there's no win for her either. It's just, I'm trying to do something different, and I'm tired of these customers, you know, wanting to play games with the timing. And when they play games with the timing, they're playing games with the money. That's what they're doing. And when you start playing games with my money, I don't want to work for you no more, because you're not respecting my time. That's what we sell, y'all, is our time. 10-year customer, 15-year customer, 50-year customer. Don't matter. It don't. Now, I say that, but keep in mind that if you're new in the game, you might not be able to do that. I couldn't when I was new in the game. I had to have all customers. I had to retain them all. But after you get some seniority under your belt, and you get some time out here under your belt, then you start to see, well, you know, there are better ways to make money. There's more lucrative accounts. There are people out there that don't play games with the timing. They don't play games with the money. They don't try to give me the same money after 6 weeks of not cutting it as I would if it were 2 weeks. I ain't doing it, man. You got to set a precedent. But if you're young in the game, you might not want to set that same precedent. You better wait until you are able to deal with the consequences of that. Because if you can't deal with the consequences of that, then, you know, you might, you know, I mean, I made money on her, you know. I wasn't losing money or nothing. You got to always make sure that you got enough money to pay your bills. You got enough customers to pay for what you need to pay for. I pick up 3, and then when one of the existing ones starts acting crazy, I drop them. Then I picked up 2, you know, and I keep a tally in my head of new accounts, how close they are to my house versus accounts that are further away, and all that. I got some accounts that are it's damn near bad business to keep them. They're far away, but they pay so good, it's hard for me to, and they're good people, and they don't never play games with me, that it's hard for me to drop them. Of course, I'm making money on them too. So
down the road from me,
right.
If you're looking in the wood, and I told them, I said, this is what I'm planning to do. Are you interested if, you know, since part of the cost is going to be him bringing it out there, if we do it all the same day and he clears a bigger area, would you guys be, you know, to do that? That way you could split that, you know, the transportation cost between the 3 of us. That way we're not, you know, that way we save a little bit on that. Yeah. I got my next door neighbor's interested. He says, yeah, he'd like to know what it would cost for him, you know, for you to clear that, you know, to his line. You know,
okay, so if we're facing your backyard to the right.
If we're facing the wood from my backyard to the right,
okay.
not.
Right.
I doubt she's gonna do anything over there. She's an old single widow lady, and she's got a fence in the backyard. I don't think she's gonna do much back there. Plus, it would be quite a bit for that. But it would just be continue on down to his line. And I'm gonna talk to that. I know John, the neighbor next to him. I got a call to him. Neil, my next door neighbor, he's interested. So if I get him to look at it, then I would probably say that you probably need to come out there, take a quick look, and kind of put that together a little bit. You know,
right? Yeah. I mean, I'll be friendly with the numbers. You know, if we can get, you know. So I thought the same thing actually when I was looking at it. I was telling my guy, you know, when we got back in the truck, I said, you know, it's such a small thing to do. I said, but we'll probably get more work out of it. That's what I was thinking to myself. I said, well, if somebody sees my Bobcat over here with a brush cutter down on this draw back here, I said, shoot, every neighbor might come out and say, hey, you know,
I'll see how far you can go with it, but I mean that might end up being a full day for you.
Yeah,
to
that,
buy
and
store
it'll be friendly, more friendly. I'm not sure exactly how much more friendlier, but it'll be definitely cheaper. So
yeah, well, again, it was more. I also kind of was feeling like that it's going to look a little odd back there for him if his back is
right, and that's what I was telling my guy. Exactly what. It's funny that you're saying all this because exactly what I was telling my guy when we left there. I said once I cut that one, then it's gonna everything else is gonna look like a jungle. On both sides. I'm definitely in. You can give them my number and I could call and they could call me, and if they're interested or whatever. Is that once they see the machine and see what I can do, there's a lot of things I can do besides just
the thing is, I'm not telling him. I mean, he's gonna have a bigger cut than you're gonna have a bigger area for him.
Right next door.
Yeah, next door. Because I think his is a little deeper than mine.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and look online and look at the tax site and kind of see, get some
with
footage.
the plot and land and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, this will also kind of make it easy for you. You don't have to worry about hey, am I encroaching on his property line? Or you just take it right across.
And it takes. I mean, how much more effort is it for me to cut another one, or two? I mean, I can make a day out of it instead of because either way it's gonna suck up a half a day no matter what I do.
Yeah.
If I just do yours, it's a half a day no matter what. If I spend 2 hours there, it's still by the time I get back home, get the machine unloaded, blah 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 blah. And we're at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. So, but if you can just keep cutting on there and make a day out of it, then you kind of take the day.
I love it, man. I appreciate you, man. Really do.
All right, okay.
Thanks, man. I'll be in touch.
I'll keep in touch.
All right, and I'm shooting for one day next week.
All right.
I'm thinking
good.
now. I'm trying to put it all together.
Yeah, watch that weather too.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you.
All right,
yes,
guys.
sir.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Okay. All right.
Okay, y'all. So just what I was talking about at home. That's the guy that agreed to the money on the brush cutting, and you see what he done did. That's how you save money when you're doing minimum work. If you're a homeowner, when you've got a contractor coming to do minimum work, well, he's going to charge that minimum. I'm not going to charge him much more. I'm going to make more money, of course, but he'll get a better price if I'm doing the neighbors too, and it's not going to take me that much longer. I mean, it's really not. That stuff down there ain't nothing for my brush cutter. It ain't nothing for the Bobcat. Like I said, I could probably do it with a lawnmower, but that's what I bought the Bobcat for. So that's a prime example, and it's funny that we were talking about that, and there he calls me with some options. He's got options, and he is weighing his options. He's agreed to the money no matter what. If he can get his neighbors to agree, then I can go over there and make $2,000, and do 4 of them or 5 of them, and leave there with $2,000. And for customers that know I can do that. See what I'm saying? That's a smart customer. I like him. I like that. I'll kick back.